Naming a problem out loud, whether to oneself or to another person, is a powerful and transformative step in the problem-solving process. This act of verbalizing a problem has cognitive, emotional, and relational benefits that can significantly improve the chances of finding an effective solution. There are several reasons why this practice is so important. Here's the first, and the rest will follow. Number one, it clarifies the problem further. When you name a problem out loud, it forces you to organize your thoughts and express the issue in clear, concrete terms. Often problems can feel overwhelming or vague in our minds, making it difficult to address them effectively. By articulating the problem, you clarify its nature and scope, making it easier to identify possible solutions. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed at work, saying, "I'm feeling stressed because I have too many responsibilities and not enough time to manage them," provides a specific direction for problem solving. "I'm feeling stressed because, on careful observation, I don't fit with the organization or with the people here," is a completely different piece of problem solving. Likewise, "I'm feeling stressed because this is a startup and I'm used to working in old, established, slower businesses," potentially needs a different solution again. Without articulating the problem, you may continue to feel anxious without knowing exactly what's causing it. If you can articulate it well, beyond just "I'm stressed beyond work," somebody else may even be able to help. Here's reason number two why it can be highly beneficial to state a problem out loud. It engages critical thinking. Speaking a problem out loud engages the brain differently than just thinking about it internally. When we vocalize a problem, we activate parts of the brain responsible for verbal processing and critical thinking. This shift can help break through mental roadblocks or confusion, offering a fresh perspective on the issue. Hearing the problem spoken aloud may help you recognize aspects of it that you hadn't noticed before or that were unclear in your mind. In team settings, this is important. Naming the problem out loud brings it into the open for discussion, allowing group members to think critically and collectively address the issue. Challenging wordings, seeking refinement of terms, throwing disagreement into the path, which is all great if it's leading towards the right solution. Even in personal coaching sessions, when we repeat back to someone what they've just said, they often completely disagree with the wording. "Did I say that? I didn't say that. When I hear that back, it doesn't sound right. I think I've missed a point somewhere." And then they have the opportunity to start again, to redefine the issue, which again is great. Better to correct it now than to proceed down the wrong path, no? Here's reason number three why it can be highly beneficial to state a problem out loud. It reduces emotional intensity. Problems often trigger strong emotions like frustration, anxiety, or fear. When a problem stays internalized, it can create emotional tension, making it harder to deal with rationally. Naming the problem out loud helps to externalize it, reducing its emotional intensity in you and giving you a sense of control over the situation. Feelings can overwhelm far more than words can. I once spoke to someone who, for dietary and body clock reasons, didn't tend to lunch with his colleagues, but after a while he realized that all the info exchange was happening at lunch and at break times, more so even than in formal meetings. Therefore, developing feelings of loneliness and stupidity, which are awful feelings, were quickly heard and processed in coaching and turned into a next step once they'd been said out loud to me rather than kept inside. An approach to joining in with them at some of those break times was all that was then needed to find out the things he needed to know. Acknowledging the problem in words creates a psychological distance between yourself and the issue, which can help manage stress. Here's reason number four why it can be highly beneficial to state a problem out loud. It promotes accountability. Verbalizing a problem fosters accountability, especially when shared with another person, but even alone. When you say the problem out loud, it feels more real and immediate, creating a sense of responsibility to act on it. This is particularly important in team settings or relationships, where shared accountability helps drive collective action. For instance, if a team leader at work says we're not hitting our project deadlines because of communication breakdowns, the acknowledgement prompts the team to take ownership of the issue and work together on solutions. Naming it out loud creates a shared understanding of the problem, motivating people to move towards resolution. If a friend says, "Sarah always organises everyone's birthday party. This year she's not organising her own," then everyone at the table has to react and, in the absence of out-and-out objection to making any bit of effort for a friend, There's then an almost instant group consensus and commitment, and someone makes an effort to display gratitude back to Sarah for once, and maybe even to learn something about continuing those efforts into the future. Here's reason number 5 why it can be highly beneficial to state a problem out loud. It encourages collaboration and understanding. Naming a problem out loud to another person opens the door for collaboration. It allows others to understand your perspective, provide feedback, or offer support. Problems often feel smaller and more manageable when discussed openly because sharing the burden reduces isolation. Whether in personal relationships, teams, or organizational settings, voicing a problem can prompt empathy, understanding, and therefore collective problem solving. For example, in a workplace conflict, saying, "I'm finding it difficult to work with this process because it's unclear who's responsible for certain tasks," invites the other party to consider your perspective as to why that might be happening and discuss ways to improve the situation. Openly naming the problem encourages dialogue and mutual understanding, which are essential for resolving the issue. Here's my final reason why it can be highly beneficial to state a problem out loud before attempting to solve it. Number 6, it stimulates solution-oriented thinking. Once a problem is named out loud, it's easier to transition from problem-focused thinking to solution-focused thinking. The verbalization marks a transition point. Once the problem is clearly identified, the mind can shift towards finding practical steps to solve it. Saying, "We're losing clients because of delays in our delivery times," helps everyone in the room focus on potential solutions, such as process improvements, rather than staying stuck in frustration or confusion. This act of naming sets the stage for brainstorming and action. Likewise, saying you're about to lose your partner because you use her as some kind of servant is a likelier kickstart to a solution than everyone sitting around having private conversations about how awful it is that John treats his wife like a servant and John having no idea he has a problem to solve. Words solve problems, not moaning, not gossiping, not huddling in a safe distant corner whispering about less than great situations. Stepping up and saying the words is what's needed, and it can sometimes be as effective to simply say words out loud to yourself as to say them to other people, depending on the problem. If you think it might be time to delve a little more thoroughly into the universe of you, your personal strategy for moving forwards across any or all areas of life, across practical and/or behavioural themes, check out mystrategy.me. It's a fantastic resource for personal progress. Learn the steps of strategy as applied to yourself and your own life, whilst constantly building self-knowledge, widening perspective, and putting constructive actions into place so you can watch your progress in your own private hub. Why not become the content and start the conversation with you?